Hi guys, Roman here. I'm back with another episode of Urban Treats. Today we are making a traditional Gugelhupf. It's an Austrian recipe that I actually grew up with. My grandma, my mom used to make this all the time and I really loved it. It's also known as a Bundt cake or a Bundt marble cake. Now, traditionally this recipe is made using raisins, but as a kid I never liked raisins, so my mom always made it with chocolate and vanilla. And that's what we're going to do today. So as always, the ingredients are in the description. And don't forget, if you like my videos, make sure you subscribe, like the video, and if you want, leave a comment. So let's get started. Now, the first step in the recipe is to cream our butter. That's about 180 grams. Together with our egg yolks. So we have 4 eggs here and I've separated the egg yolks from the egg white. And for now, we're just adding the egg yolks and we'll cream this together. So now that the butter and egg yolk is creamed, we are going to add in our confectionery sugar. And that's about 330 grams of confectionery sugar. Put it all in there. Don't forget, we always have metric and imperial measurements in the description, or if you want on our blog, there's a link as well, where you can also get a printable version of this recipe. Now add in the vanilla extract. That's 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract. And don't forget to occasionally scrape the bowl, because some things are going to be out of the reach of the whisk and you want to make sure everything is super well combined. And whisk it a few more minutes. Now combine your baking soda with your flour and give that a bit of a stir before we add it into the mixture. Okay, we'll gradually add in the flour, and we're not going to add in the whole amount. We're going to add half of it first, and then when it thickens up a little bit, we're going to add in our milk, and then we add some more of the flour. I can see this is already a little bit thick, so I'm going to add a little bit of milk. Let this combine, and then we're going to add a little bit more of the flour, a little bit more milk, and once it's well combined, we add in the rest of our milk and let that whisk for 2 to 3 minutes. Okay, so the first part of our batter is now complete, and we're going to make a little bit of space here. And we're going to take it out of our mixing bowl and put it in a separate bowl. Now the first part of the batter is ready, but we need to whisk the egg whites. So whisking the egg whites introduces air bubbles, and that's going to make our cake nice and spongy. Whisking egg whites also works best when you use a metallic or a glass bowl. And you can also add a little bit of salt, but really just a touch, and that's going to help you get nice stiff peaks. So let's whisk that for a few minutes, and then we're going to fold it into the batter. Now our egg whites are ready, and we are going to carefully fold them into the batter. It's best if you use a rubber spatula like this one or a wooden spatula, because you don't want to break the little air bubbles in the egg white. So just add a little bit first. You're not going to add the whole portion. And carefully fold that in. Now the second half of the portion. Don't rush this step. The more careful you are with this step, the more fluffy your cake is going to be on the inside. Okay, now that's almost ready. The last thing we have to do is add our cacao and also add the chocolate chips. Now, before we do that, we're gonna add the chocolate chips in first, and then we're gonna separate a little bit of the batter, which we're gonna add the cacao to. So add in the chocolate chips. There we go. Fold them in carefully. And then I have a little bowl here where we're going to separate a little less than half of our batter. So that's about enough. And here we're going to fold in the cacao. I have 3 tablespoons of cacao here, but I'm going to go slow. I'm going to add half of it first. And you can sift the cacao if you want, just to make sure you don't get any little cacao chunks in the batter. So I can already see that I want more color, so I'm going to add more cacao now. Add the rest of the cocoa, so that's about 3 to 4 teaspoons, and fold them all in. That's ready. We're just gonna tidy up here a little bit, and then we'll prepare the pan. It's also now time to preheat your oven. We have the oven running at 175 degrees. As always, you're gonna have the Fahrenheit measurements in the description. I'll see you back in a second. Now the batter is ready. Let's prepare our Bundt form. And we're gonna grab a little bit of butter and line it with the butter. Make sure you go in all the crooks and crannies. A bit of flour. And then we're just gonna bang that around until the whole Bundt form is covered. And whatever's left, right back into the plate. Okay, so we'll start with the first layer, and our first layer is going to be the vanilla batter. So we'll add that to the bottom. Let's go a spoon at a time. Don't rush this one. Give that a bit of a straightening. Now we add the second layer, which is the chocolate layer. And that we add the whole lot. So just add everything evenly. It doesn't have to be perfect, because it's gonna look really nice if it has some imperfections. Okay, that's all the dark added. And now let's add top layer. Rather use the spatula, allows me to get everything better out of the bowl. And add that on top. Okay. So we'll straighten that carefully. We don't want to mix it, just straighten it. And now we'll grab the end of the spoon, and we're going to give it a bit of a marble pattern. So, my finger's dirty, it doesn't matter. Just grab the end of the spoon, and then just in a zigzag motion, go around the whole form. So, give it a couple of shakes. Get all the air out. And we are ready to bake this. It's going to take about 45 to 50 minutes. We'll pop that in the oven, and then we'll see the results. See you in a bit. All right, check this out. Our Gugelhupf, or Bundt cake, has risen, and it looks really, really great. The whole kitchen smells amazing. So it's time to get it out of the form. And for that, I'm going to get a plate and just cover my form. Pick it up with an open cloth. Give it a bit of a shake. And let's see, are we lucky? And that's how you make Austrian Guglehupf. A really easy recipe, really quick to make, and it tastes absolutely delicious. Now, before I give this a try, if you enjoyed this video, leave a like or a comment. And if you enjoy our videos, make sure you subscribe and ring that bell button so that you're always up to date. Now, let's give this a try. I really like those added chocolate chips. Let's see how it tastes. Exactly like my mom used to make it. Really, really good. Well, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next week.